How's it going, guys? I'm host Caravan Gaming. Welcome back to a very special Adventure Quest video, and as you guys can tell from the title, man, it is with a heavy heart that I regret to inform all of you guys that Purple Rain has finally been nerfed. That's right, guys. After 6 freaking years since it came out, it's finally here. The nerf is here, guys. Oh man. It's a small midweek balance change, but oh boy, it is so... The impact that this has on the game is so big, okay? For those of you guys who aren't aware, back when AQ first started out, we had this item called the Eye of Nub. It was basically a shield that did what the old Purple Rain did, okay? So the old Father Time shield also basically did the same thing, but now the Eye of Nub has been changed, has its effect changed, and now it's completely useless. Okay, so not long after that, they had Purple Rain come out. No, in fact, Purple Rain came out before that. No, wait, they had that change, then Purple Rain came about. Yeah, so afterwards, Purple Rain came out, and Purple Rain essentially became the new Eye of Nub, and that's how we've always been playing the game, you know. Starting off with a rewind item, and then quick casting off our buffs and our boosters, whatnot, and to my knowledge, almost every single build in the game uses Purple Rain. Whether you're a warrior, whether you're a ranger, whether you're a beastmaster, a hybrid, a mage, a dodge slash build, you all use Purple Rain. The only build to my knowledge that doesn't really use Purple Rain is Backlash, but even for some circumstances, Backlashers also use Purple Rain. So yeah, regardless of what build you are, Purple Rain is basically the meta defining item inside the game, and we've always been playing the game like this, in this manner, for like ever since the game existed, if you want to ask me. So the fact that they had this huge nerf, it basically changes how we've been playing the game for like the past 20 years, and I think that is super big, super impactful. Man, the staff are really going heavy on the impactful updates this year, man. Like holy crap, Purple Rain. Where do I even begin, guys? Let us go ahead and start and see what are the changes they've made to Purple Rain and whether or not it is still viable today. So first of all, it costs us 294 SP on the first cast. Okay, so this change, previously when you casted Purple Rain, the first cast is completely free, guys, so you didn't need to spend anything for the first casting. So now it costs 294 SP right off the bat for the first cast. Before I start casting the spell, I'm going to use Essence Orb here, bring my SP all the way up to full so that you guys can see how this item really works. Okay, so let's bring this all the way up to full. So now it costs us 294 SP each time you cast it, but on the first cast, sorry. So apart from it having a cost now on the first cast, you also get some small buffs together along with it. Okay, so you get plus 40 charisma for 3 rounds, as well as extra 5% outgoing damage for 3 rounds. In my opinion, this is a very small buff, and let's see if it stacks with Una Polka. Yes, it does stack with Una Polka, though it doesn't really stack very well. Unfortunately, what if I cast Una Polka first? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, switch to this. So if I cast Una Polka first, and then I cast Purple Rain. Yeah, okay, so they don't really stack. That is kind of unfortunate, which means that is not so great for using buffs. Even then, charisma, it's really only useful for beastmaster. So if you're running like a beastmaster build, only then will you benefit from like this small little buff that the Purple Rain gives you. Okay, in fact, it's not even, I wouldn't even consider it like being a big buff or anything, because of the fact that it doesn't stack with Una Polka. If it stacks with Una Polka, I guess you can make the argument that it could actually be good, but it doesn't. So yeah, I guess it's a more free-to-play way of letting players access like a quick cast buff skill or spell, if you want to put it that way. Okay, so what it does is on the second cast, it also rewinds all your HP, MP, and SP. Same for the monster, so no change there. But on the second cast, you gain choke. Okay, so you, not the monster, gets choked. Okay, so you deal minus 10% damage, and on top of that you also get repulsive, okay, which is it reduces your charisma. At level 150, this reduces your charisma by a whopping 80. Okay, so for pure builds, I guess you aren't really affected by this if you don't use the pets and guesses. But if you're like a Beastmaster sort of build, then I guess this change will have some effect on you and reduce the amount of buffing that your guesses can do. Still, in my opinion, I feel that this is not such a big deal if you ask me, simply because of the fact that how do you call it, minus 10% damage and minus 80 charisma isn't a big deal when it comes to damage range. You're still going to be able to deal loads of damage, okay? So my main gripe really isn't with the debuff over here. But if you, okay, moving on to the next effect. So buffs on the first cast disappear for no bonus effect once you cast it the second time. Okay, so you cannot cast this more than one time per turn. Yeah. See this? You can no longer cast it twice per turn to gain back all your resources and everything. You need to wait at least one turn. And in my opinion, this is one of the two biggest nerfs that it has seen. Okay, the second nerf is that the second casting is now affected by the enemy's form status. Okay, form shift, immunity or resistance. Okay, so the second casting, the effect is tagged as a form shift effect. Things with resistance to form shift will make it harder to roll back, though I'm not exactly sure what monsters have resistance to form shift. You are either immune to it or you are susceptible to it. I don't really remember any monsters with resistance to it. Okay, and things with immunity are immune to it. To my knowledge and from what I can remember, the only monsters that are like immune to form shift are Cakers, which is a Void boss, and then there's also the level 500 Void Knight Bane. By the way, go ahead and check out the video of me beating the boss, card on the top right hand corner of the screen right now before it got nerfed. And also, is Carnex immune to that? I can't remember if Carnex is immune to form shift. Probably is, since he's level 300. But yeah, I also have a video of me beating him before this Purple Rain nerf struck. So yeah, these are the few monsters that I can think off the top of my head that are immune to form shift. I don't know if there's more. If there are, do let me know down in the comments below. But there really isn't that many monsters in the game that are immune to form shift, and that's really the point that I want to say, is because after this change, I am almost certain that the staff is going to add more monsters with form shift immunity, because I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but ever since I started playing a dodge slash build, the build has gained quite a lot of traction, and I don't want to take full credit for this, but yeah, dodge slashing has become quite a prevalent build nowadays, and they've been releasing more items for it even in the recent Golden Gift Box crossover event. And yeah, because of that, they did recently also add some bosses which had auto hit mechanics which counters dodge slash. So I am inclined to think that the direction that the staff is going is that they are going to go ahead and add some form shift immunity monsters or bosses to the game very, very soon. Okay, so yeah, be prepared for that. So after I attack, after one round, you can see here what this Purple Rain does. Okay, so cast Purple Rain again. For each turn after you cast it, it costs 98 SP. Okay, on top of that, you get the minus 80 charisma, like I mentioned before, and you get a choke as well. But okay, if you don't have enough SP, then it's taken out of your HP. 98 SP per turn at level 150, that is the exact amount that you regenerate without any boosters or buffs or any skills healing your SP whatsoever. But if you wait 4 rounds before casting it, then the SP cost is halved. If you wait more than 5 rounds, then it is completely free, guys. Okay, so what I'm thinking that they are trying to do with this new version of Purple Rain is that you are they want you to start the battle with Purple Rain as per usual. You know, nothing changed from the old one. So they want you to start the battle with Purple Rain, but after like a few, then you try out a strategy, and if the strategy doesn't work, then you can cast Purple Rain again, and you get back all your resources, and then you can try a different strategy with Purple Rain. That, in my opinion, is how I think they want you to use this new Purple Rain. So it still basically functions about the same as before. It's just that I think that was how they initially intended Purple Rain to be used. Okay, so now instead of that, you can, instead of using it for your quick cast buffs and all that, you can use it to, you know, redo a battle if you failed your strategy. Okay, albeit with a heavy, quite a heavy cost in my opinion, minus 10% damage and minus 80 charisma after failing your first strategy. That's a pretty big blow in my opinion. Personally, I don't really have a big problem with this balance change. The only gripe that I have is that this is going to make regular mob grinding slower, and by that I mean monsters with a lot of HP, monsters with very low resistances, and I don't mean boss monsters. I think it's perfectly fine to go ahead and make battles against boss monsters longer, since they are boss monsters and all. It's only fair that you have to take quite a few more extra turns in order to beat said boss monsters. But what about the regular monsters with lower resistances, with higher HP, and if you have to face a lot of them in like longer quests like Mastercraft quests, that can get really annoying. And I know I am not someone who actually uses Purple Rain for these monsters, but I know quite a lot of people actually do, and they like to do their, you know, full nuking setup even against the small mob monsters. So this change makes it such that it is not going to be as good or as effective against the smaller mob monsters, and that is really where I take issue with it, because those battles are some of the most boring, most tedious, most unfun things to do in the entire game. You're not facing a monster with like unique mechanics or whatever, and you're not gaining anything out of the story. You're basically stonewalled into fighting tough chunky monsters with either very low resistances or very high HP, and you have to spend quite a lot of turns to beat them. And that is what I really don't like. Okay, so the fact that this slows that down, yeah, I am not happy with that. Okay, of course you can still nuke most of the lower HP ones or those with like high resistances, but for those with like high HP or low resistances, then yeah, you're going to spend quite a few more turns on them, and if you don't use Purple Rain. Okay, and that's just something I really dislike. Okay, personally, I think the nerf is sort of justified, but is it a good nerf? I can't think of a better nerf right now, and or a better way to balance it right now, so I'm going to say that it's okay. I don't think the spell is completely worthless after this, but at the same time, it is definitely not as strong or as broken as before. So I am actually going to say, you know what? Good job to the AQ staff for doing this. I mean, they could have obviously done it sooner. 6 years is a long time to wait for a nerf. But, you know, we had our fun for the past 20 years, and now I guess it's time to play the game proper. You know, not do all the stupid OP strats and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm going to spend some SP here, and then we are going to see how this Purple Rain works out. So it's been more than 5 turns already, I think. I've not really been keeping track. But if I cast it now, you can see here it's free and we get back all of our SP if it's longer than 5 turns. If it's 4 turns, you get back half the SP. Right, so I guess it's good for boss battles. You take more than 5 turns, you realize that your current strategy isn't working out. After the 5 turns, you can cast it again, get back all your resources completely free. If you want to do it before the 5 turns, then you do incur the cost. Okay, so for 1 turn afterwards is 98 SP. Then for 2 turns, it's going to be 98 times 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so would you really want to wait until 4 turns later? No, because your buff is going to expire by then. If you want to use it for quick casting your buffs, you still can. It's just that there's going to be an SP cost tied to it, so it's not going to be completely free anymore. Right, and those are my thoughts for the Purple Rain nerf. Other updates: the old Golden Gift Box item Silas is now a status pet to differentiate it from the mini Nalgath pet. So Silas, I believe it is an ultra rare pet. Let me go ahead and check. So it sits between fire and darkness, and you can click to toggle between a 1 melee hit minus 50% damage and leaves the monster vulnerable, which is times 1.336 damage. Okay, wait, where is Silas? Yeah, there it is. The monster can resist for 1 turn, fire plus darkness. Monster can resist with a save at a +0 bonus, inflict charisma over luck, resist with endurance over luck. 3 magic hits, minus 50%, and leaves the monster controlled 31 times resistance times hits connected over 3% chance of a stun, 1 turn. The monster can resist with a save, add a +0 bonus, inflict charisma over luck, resist with charisma over luck. Overall, I think that this pet is actually pretty decent after the change, but I would not recommend spending an ultra rare on a pet. Okay, unless you are maining a Beastmaster build, or unless you're just a Mega Whale with a lot of spare gift boxes. Otherwise, I still will not recommend wasting an ultra rare gift box on a pet, considering this is not really anything super game changing. It's still a very good pet now, though, in my opinion. So if you have the spare ultra rare gift box, and if you're playing like a Beastmaster build, I guess you can consider getting it. Next up, Seraphim of Ver, which is the newest crossover item, which I went through. You guys can go ahead and check out the video of me buying some and testing some of the new golden gift box crossover items here. Okay, in this video, come on the top right corner of the screen right now. It now gives pet BTH boost and guest BTH boost. I guess this is okay. It makes it better than New Year's surprise spell, but would I really want to get an armor just for the sake of boosting my BTH and my pet and my guess's BTH? Not really, okay? It's still a decent armor for fully defensive Beast Rangers, but I do not think this makes the armor like good or anything extraordinary. So honestly, it's still going to be a hard pass for me. Minor updates on mana, spirit burn, whether you're supposed to lose MP or SP but lack it, so it takes it out of your HP instead. This should just affect intelligence changing miscellaneous items or armors. And last but not least, player hypercritical now ticks down at the start of your turn, not on the monster's turn, and likewise for monsters hypercritical. What this means is that you lose a turn of hypercritical. Okay, so all hypercritical status effects, whether it's coming from your strawberry shield cake, whether it's coming from your arms of the dragon guard, instead of being able to get the hypercritical for 2 turns, because it only takes down on the monster's turn, okay, even if you use Shadow Feeder Pendant, even if you use Purple Rain right now, you'll still only get 1 turn use out of it. So I guess it cuts the effectiveness of any hypercritical items in half, which is pretty big if you ask me. Does it mean that hypercritical items are worthless or useless now? No, it just means that they are no longer as good as before. It's still good, but not as good as before. And that's basically it, guys. My thoughts on all of the new balance changes, guys. By the way, I also did just launch my Discord yesterday. You guys are already seeing the link to the Discord up on the screen right now. Do go ahead and join there if you haven't already. You know, engage in friendly discussion, and you know, you can check out all my resources there for new and returning players if you need help with that. Alright, so that is it, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of the balance changes. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's good for the game? Do you think it's bad for the game? Why? Alright, so if you like this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more of such future content. Also, I have a new end screen. Haven't checked it out already, be sure to stick all the way to the end. And till the next time, I'm your host, Caravan Gaming. Peace out.